We don't condone the use of any illegal substance or any illegal activity. This video is intended for instructional and educational purpose only. Watch at your own risk. Viewer discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
In the garden where the green leaves sway, see bunnies rolling up, we light it all way. Mr. Guinness got the bombs, we puffin' all night. Talking cultivation, yeah, we're feeling alright. Light it up, feel the vibe, let it be known. Garden cultivation, network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Chatting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night. Wednesday to Friday, we keep it alive. Cannabis talks, everybody's feeling high. Sharing secrets of the grow, it's a sacred art. In this cultivation game, you gotta play your part. Keep it real, keep it tight, watch the plants grow. Garden cultivation, network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Chatting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Yes. Yes. How have you
Halfway
been?
through the week. It's been a short week because we had Thanksgiving Monday, so it was a long weekend. So that's always good.
Yes. Did you do anything good for Thanksgiving or just kind of stay home and relax?
We went to do a little bit of fishing. Didn't catch anything, but it was still nice to get out.
Yeah, it's always nice to be around the water, hanging out,
And
chilling.
then the whole turkey Thanksgiving supper thing with
Yeah.
the kiddos.
I didn't do anything for Thanksgiving. I didn't have turkey. I didn't have any of that. I didn't watch football. Nothing. I
Oh
boycotted
no,
this year.
you boycotted.
No, I went it was my birthday the weekend before, so I went to all my family's the weekend before. So we
Canadian
Canadian Thanksgiving, eh?
Thanksgiving. Yes. Yay.
Yeah, so I went to everybody's house for dinner on the weekend before. So I just said I'm not doing it this weekend. I'm taking this weekend off for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did.
So last week we had a great interview. We interviewed you.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to
It was
suck
a
up
lot of
now.
fun. We learned a lot.
But after that comment in the background, I got a witness to it.
Nuh-uh.
Yes. Yes, you interviewed me
Oh
last.
yes,
That was fun.
I did. Yeah, I actually learned quite a few things about you myself. So if you missed that episode, you could go back and rewatch it, or you could head on over onto Spotify under Garden Cultivation Network.
Yes. And this week, we have the man, the myth, the legend.
The legend. Dun, dun,
You guys ready for
dun.
this? I don't know if I get. I'm jealous. First of all, I don't have the hair. I'm lacking in the hair department, and our guest today is not. I'm jealous.
No, he is not. So most
right.
people know him for his no joke strain.
Yes.
So we have the one, the only.
Mr. Chad Westport.
Yeah.
Mr. Chad Westport in the
Happy
house.
Wednesday.
Sea Bunny, good to see you guys. Thank you for having me back here, and thanks for breaking up the monotony of the week. Like, yes, this is where it's at, guys. No, I don't know why I just did that. Thurgood inspired me with this post.
He's rubbing it in. He's just rubbing it in.
Spontaneous.
That's right. You got shiny hair, I got a shiny head. So I mean, hey.
Bro, who does it take? Who's ready quicker? Probably you. So hats
You
off.
know what's you know what's crazy? It takes a lot. If you're not fully bald, it takes a lot to be bald. It's
Yeah,
a lot of work.
dude. I've always had my head shaved with like a number 2 or a number 3 for like the majority of my life. This is only because I was working commercially. I wanted to shave it again. My wife said nope, and here we are.
Here we
I
are
love
5 years
it.
later. Yes. That's all right. That's all right. I had long hair when I was younger. And when I say long hair, it was like shoulder length. But that was like
I
back
had
in the
long hair
dog
too.
days. My hair was also purple at one point in time. I mean, I didn't make the best
Nice.
choices.
I did colors. I did colors. I even had like devil horns. I did have a mohawk.
Nice.
I've had scale bangs. So there's been a few. I mean, if your hair came down to here, that's long enough. And anybody who has had hair long enough to have that feeling of where like you're taking a toke and then you need air and you do that and you have nothing but hair. Like,
Yeah.
dude, that is, and then you're choking again. So yeah, that is
Yep.
real.
Yeah.
Struggle is real, guys. It looks
I had
glamorous.
the
Struggle is real.
had the Kurt Cobain
Yeah.
haircut, like the undercut and everything. Yeah. But
Yeah,
not it
me
was
too.
like in the 90s. I mean, it's kind of
I
whatever.
still have
Everybody
the
had that
undercut.
haircut back then, so
Yeah, I still
brought
have
the
it.
mullet. But yeah. Man, that
That's
would be awesome.
awesome.
I wanna see the
But
Germinator with a mullet. That'd be awesome.
yes, but before we get too far into it, for those who don't know who you are, which I don't think is anybody, but for those who don't, can you give a brief introduction on who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. It's fun coming on, a lot of different shows because there's always somebody new that we can reach. Maybe they're finding you for the first time today. Maybe they've been watching you
Yeah.
forever and they're like, who's this long-haired hippie guy? I'm Chad Westport. I like to grow cannabis. I've been doing it for many, many, many years, doing it for medicinal reasons for myself. That's kind of how I got into it. That is what led me to want to pursue a better, healthier, cleaner way for people to grow and actually just get more people growing. Multiple different ways to grow, but I want to see people grow because I know the difference this plant has made in my life. And if it can help somebody else the same that it's helped me, wow, right? So
I agree.
Yes.
that's me. I do YouTube channel. I write for some of the larger seed banks, and yeah, I just try to spread education, man. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Of
you
course.
I love growing marijuana, Sensi Seeds,
Yeah,
Skunk Magazine, and A Pot for a Pot.
yeah,
That
yeah. That was
was
a fun one. That was a cool little. It was almost like an all-in-one kit because even sometimes you can buy like the soil or you buy the drip system. This had like everything from like the little shovel to the water bottle to the pot to the
oh
soil you
wow.
need to fill it, and it came with genetics. So for somebody who was like on the fence of like, should I try this thing? I don't want to have to buy all this crap. Boom,
Yeah.
came
Boom, one
perfect.
bucket.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is that the one that comes in like a 5-gallon pail? Like a white
It,
five
it's a
gallon
it,
pail or something, and it's got a label on the front? Says,
nope,
like
but that's
what
a good idea. I like that. That's great for shipping. They used a 5-gallon fabric pot, so it kind of folded into a
okay.
smaller box, but 5 gallons a good size for, anybody who's kind of wanting to get started. It's a little bit more
Yeah.
forgiving with watering stresses and
Yes.
feeding,
Yeah,
but yeah.
I saw one that was a 5-gallon bucket. It came with a lid and it came with the soil in the bucket already. Like I don't know, maybe the soil was in a bag and you had to dump it in, but everything was in this bucket, which is I thought that was pretty cool. Sounds similar.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, it's just trying
Came
to
with
make it easier for people to get involved. Obviously, well, not all the time, but sometimes when you go that, I almost call it like the boutique route, it'll be more expensive than if you sourced it individually.
right.
But sometimes, it's like time is money or somebody who just doesn't know everything that they need, right? You don't know until you
Yeah.
know. So they
Right.
Yeah.
can
And I
take
don't know
care of
about
it for
you,
you.
but the first time I ever went into a grow store and you walk in and you just kind of take a look around, you're so overwhelmed. Like, what do I pick? Like, you go in there kind of with a plan, you've done a little bit of research, and then you get in there and you're like, oh my God, you're just hit with all these labels.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
you don't know anymore. You've second guessed yourself, and now you don't know what to do. And then you leave there, and you always spend hundreds more than you were going to in the first place.
There's always the little additives too. Like that's what always threw me. Like I had a good idea of, like, okay, I want to go in, and usually I was looking for like the Fox Farm Trio. That's
Right.
easy, it's accessible, most people know it. If you follow the recipe, you're good. But as you're
Yeah.
walking to that aisle, you see, different companies and they've got cool pictures. You're like, oh, okay. Some companies have like the 2 or 3 bottle system. Other companies have that like 10 bottle kit. You're like, wow, that must make me a better grower.
Right.
I've fallen for that before.
Or this label's
I
got
have as
gorillas
well.
and crazy animals on it and cartoon
Yeah.
Yeah.
characters. I gotta get that one. And that's what happened to me. I ended up getting sucked into advanced nutrients at the very beginning, and I'm pretty sure it was all the labels, and the people at the grocery store were like, "Yeah, it's good stuff. Go for it." Of course, it was one of the most expensive in the grocery store.
Of
You
course.
know?
Works great, buddy. You should know what? Apply it at twice the rate, and your buds will be 3 times as
Right.
big.
Get those big bottles. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
right. The bigger the bottle you buy, the bigger your buds. Is that how it works?
I
Damn,
wish. I mean,
I
We'll
know.
have to test that theory out.
I keep getting those little sample sizes.
Yeah.
no,
It's been my problem
that'd
the
be
whole time.
why. That's why. Yeah, I gotta up the bottle size. We'll get some. It's not bigger the roots, the bigger the fruits. The bigger the bottle, the bigger the fruits. That's how it
Bigger
goes.
the jug, the bigger the nug.
The
Yes.
bigger the jug, the bigger the nug.
So chat, don't listen to a word we're saying tonight because we're just gonna
No.
talk shit.
Especially if you're new. Do not do that.
That's funny.
I'll have to open up chat here and keep my eye out for any questions. Get that going.
Bunny's
Yeah,
usually
so if
pretty good.
anybody does,
She's normally pretty good at popping them up on the
yeah,
screen. So
if anybody does have a question for Chad, all you got to do is put it in the chat and I will star it and we will share it as soon as we can.
yes.
Gosh,
So
it's like a
I know you've been working with the No Joke for a while in the Westport posse.
yep.
Do you have any new stuff in the works?
I am. I'm testing some new stuff. Really kind of almost just like a cog in the next big picture. So, like years ago, there's this guy, Kevin Jodry. He's been around for a long time. He works with the Ganja and stuff. But he said many years ago, and I liked it. Granted, there are always subcategories, but he's like, cannabis can fit into pretty much 4 different categories. You got fruity, floral, earthy, and gassy. And as someone who ran a commercial nursery, he's like, if I could keep something solid or at least a couple things solid in each of those categories, I'm going to be okay. And
Yeah.
so I've always liked that. And it's true. I mean, sometimes, everybody has their preference. Some people are like diehard gas or, like diehard orange. Then there's people who kind of like everything. I like
Right.
everything. But with the No Joke and the Westport Posse and then the Westport Grape Juice clone, like for me, that's really like the fruity, the candy, like the pleasureful, the thing that tastes
Sweet.
good.
Yeah.
Check. Like I'm happy. So now I want to kind of move on to one of those other 3 or 4 categories. But yeah, I'm working towards like gassy, something funky, something
Nice.
chemically. And that's right now. I have
Now
really
you
good
got my
starting
attention.
stock. Yeah, see, dude, a lot of people. It's funny because I've talked to people too, and like they've tried the No Joke, and they're like, it's good. It's for what it is. I like it. I can't really put it to another one. It coats my mouth, but I'm really a gas guy. Like, I'm
Right.
as
Yeah.
good as this is. You could have the best in the world, but I'm a gas guy. So hopefully, I'm gonna have some stuff for people like you and
Mm.
many others, and myself soon too. I went
Absolutely. Yeah.
through.
At the end of the day, you gotta like it. You know what I mean? It's
Oh
gotta be
God,
for
yeah.
you first before it's for anybody.
Yes, like it
You gotta
has
check
to
your
pass.
boxes.
Yeah, it's got to check those boxes, because if it doesn't, then it just kind of blends in, and that's another thing that I really kind of try to strive for, and maybe why one of the reasons I don't have a whole bunch of stuff out there, or it takes me a while in between releases. It's like
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want something that is the saying is all killer, no filler. I don't
Yeah.
want people to be like, oh yeah, this is just like that, or just like that. I want it to kind of stand out, and
I
those
like
don't happen every
that
time.
I also like that you're taking your time as well, because
Thank you.
I'm not mentioning any names. I won't do it. But there's a lot of breeders out there that are like, yeah, I started 2 years ago and I got 75 different strains and I'm just
Mm.
dropping F2s on everybody or F1s on everybody. Like,
Yeah,
really? You know?
and
I don't know.
yeah, well, I mean, coming back from like the medical kind of background, like I do have a specific intention, a specific purpose that I'm looking for. I was doing it before I even knew what Instagram was, probably before Instagram even existed. So
Yeah.
like there's different motivations. I'm gonna be doing this hopefully until I can't anymore. So,
Right.
let's hopefully say that's another 30, 40 years. I've got long-term goals. Like I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be doing
Yeah.
this stuff. It's cool. People are paying attention, but yeah, I have to resist, as others could, just that temptation to just slap everything to anything and then call it good. But
Right.
5 years from now, are you gonna be standing out, or are you gonna be lost in the wash? So
Exactly. Exactly. And you've been here for a minute. Like you didn't just get here. You've
Mhm.
been here for a while. So you just seem to keep going up and up and up. You're not getting lost in any wash. So
oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that's absolutely the goal, man, is just to keep doing it, because again, it all goes back to that one person. Like if I find what does great for my body, I know it'll help somebody else.
absolutely.
Hmm.
So we have a question from Dr. Dank Nugs. What is your favorite strain that you have bred?
I really like the No Joke, because it hits that fruity carnival, like red Gatorade, fruit punch, all those flavors, like in the mouth. It grows the way that I would like the plant to grow. It produces good yields. So that it may be recency biased, but that one is I really, really like that one. The only other one that I mean, Westport grape juice is in there, but the other one that comes to mind is not around anymore. I have probably 500, 1,000 of the seeds, but it's something that's about 15 years old right now. So germination is, I can't get them to germinate. I just called it brown. Like in the early days, like before, because I started with like bag seeds, and then I started getting into clones, and then I started getting into like pro genetics.
Yeah.
But I didn't have names for anything. So I had like brown, I had blue, I had green, I had red.
It's
I
like the
mean, you can
Reservoir Dogs. We
tell
got
I
Mr.
named
Pink, Mr. Brown.
exactly. Yeah, I just whatever name, because it was for me and just like close friends that needed a little bit of smoke. So nobody cared what name it was. It was like, hey, you
Right.
got some smoke for me? Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's one thing
exactly.
that I always notice. Like if I'm like, hey, check this out. It's this strain, and they're like, I really don't care what it's called. Just let me
It's
smoke it. You know what I mean? Like
it's
unless I'm
funny
talking
how
to
much.
people here like us, people outside of Instagram and YouTube world don't really care that much. Some, but
Yes.
We take for granted the level of interest that people have, and that's one of the hardest things to gauge when you get into a conversation with a new person. Is
right.
where do I start?
Yeah. Or when do I stop?
Um, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So a good
People
question would be, Thurgood was asking, what would you say is your favorite thing about cannabis? So that would be a great thing to tell a new grower is your favorite thing. It would be a good start.
so my favorite thing, and actually I've got this book sitting here right now, and I know he's been on the show here, but
Yes,
The Green
sir. I got
Soul
that
by Bingus.
right up.
Dude, I
Yes,
just got
he was
this in the
actually in
other
the
day.
chat.
Holler
Is
to
he?
Bingus. Dude,
He
just
was. I'm
within
not sure if he still is, but he was.
Oh
just
yeah,
within
he
the
was.
first like
Yeah.
5 pages, I was captivated and I felt refreshed because why, the question is like, what do I enjoy about cannabis? There are so many things about it, but just like the peace that it brings me, the process, the contemplation, the patience, the solitude, the feedback,
Yeah.
again, all of the things that he's, a lot of the things that he's mentioning in the beginning of this book, I just started reading it and I felt refreshed, dude, because
Yeah.
I've, I work some right on Bingus, dude. I am very thankful you wrote this and I can't wait to finish it and I can't wait to talk to you about it because
Yeah.
dude, it's, I was about to say is, I guess I kind of like quasi work in the industry. And one of the big things that just breaks my freaking heart is like, where did all the talk of like medical benefits go? Where did all the talk of like helping people go? Where did the talk of like different terpenes and how this strain helped me, or, maybe it will help you there? Like, I kind of swim in a world of like, hype of like, it's not so much about the plant, it's more about the commodity, and like that loses the spirit and the soul of the plant for me. So yeah, getting this book, just again, the first 5 pages like is refilling my cup, and that
Yeah.
is probably the biggest reward from growing or smoking cannabis that I can mention. So thank you for the question, Thurgood, because it's easy to get lost, man. And sorry I keep talking on this, but I
That's okay.
contemplate this a lot because it's easy to get lost in the like, well, I've got to do this or I've got to do that to, keep up with the current of the river,
Yeah.
but not always about that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I struggle with that sometimes too, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do this video, or I gotta do that video, or I gotta do this. I'm like, sometimes this isn't fun. You know what I mean? When I have to do something, I'm like, this isn't fun. But
Yeah. Yeah. It's turned into work at that point. And again, you're missing the essence of the plant and that relationship with the plant. It's again, it's
exactly.
gone from like that special thing to that commodity. And commodity is just something you buy, sell, and trade. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Oh, good question.
Uh,
Is the no joke a heavy feeder, and what's the resistance on PM and pests?
Um Feeding, I have experienced just normal feeding, doesn't like wet feet a whole bunch. I know like Hyagen, they grew one and they had one that was a heavy feeder. So within possibility, but I would say the exception to the norm. PM resistance has been fantastic. Indoor, outdoor, different areas of the country, inside greenhouses, outside in patches with different pumpkins and squashes and Pacific Northwest rain. So
Which is
PM
also impressive
resistance,
because they get those big old leaves that are
yeah.
very susceptible to powdery mildew.
And
So,
one of the best examples, and I've seen many examples of this where I'm like, damn, kind of eating popcorn, just waiting for something to happen in the grow.
right.
But Brandon from Kiss Organics grew it here in the Pacific Northwest. He had multiple different cultivars out there in the pumpkin patch and with his other squash, and no joke, and one strain from Craquito were the only things that weren't like just
I didn't get it.
trash. Everything else was trashed.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I know Dr. Danknugs, he's in the chat. He grew the no joke outside and he got hit with a whole bunch of powdery mildew this year. And he said that one was untouched. The no joke
Nice.
was untouched.
Good.
So,
Very good. Like
uh,
it's again, being in the Pacific Northwest, humidity is something that I deal with. That is something that has to it plants for me to work with them have to be able to handle 80-degree humidity. Like that
right.
sounds a little bit wild, but if it can't handle that on a regular basis, then it's not good for
Well,
my
you guys
needs,
have
for what I want.
major humidity where you are. I mean,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it gets damn hot there in the summer with high humidity.
I have, my dehumidifier is 365, 24/7. It never
Right.
stops. Drying, is kind of nice because in my drying room, my extra bathroom, the humidity most of the time, like in the summer, it just hangs out at like 60. So it can make me a lazy grower or a lazy trimmer too, because I can just hang and leave things up and I'll like, it's fine.
That's like mine in here sits like right around like 60%, give or take.
Yep.
Sometimes it's like 58, sometimes it's like 62. But I mean, between that 58 and 62, I mean, I'm like, people are like, man, you still have those plants hanging in the tent a month later? I'm like, yeah, I do. I mean, take one off. Tell me if it snaps. Like,
Totally.
perfect.
It's good, we're fine. I mean, inside the tent is different, and that, always goes just how much soil mass do I have in there, how many pots, or again, just soil mass, and then foliage. So, yeah, in my tent with the lights off, again, 75 to 80 is typically where, don't do this at home, kids, is where I kind of keep it. But with the lights on, yeah, 55 to 65 is typically where it's at.
Yeah. Mine's actually low right now. I rent and I don't control the furnace, and I'm pretty sure they turned the furnace on yesterday, maybe today. And
It's gonna drop.
my humidity, I watered my plants like 3 hours ago. And usually right after I water my plants, the humidity goes up a little bit. It's barely 53 right now. I'm like, shit.
Have
So
you Do you have a way to monitor your CO2? Like
I
a
don't
little device? Okay.
know.
I'm just wondering. I'm surprised. I've been playing around with different monitors lately. I've grabbed the Pulse Pro. There's one from Spider Farmer. I have another one, a Grow Sensor Pro. Um, Dude, my ambient CO2 in that room sits around 1,000, which
Oh
is
shit, eh?
kind of crazy. It's
Mhm.
much more elevated than the ambient levels, but it's high enough to where I should really be running my lights probably higher and hotter.
Yeah.
I never knew it until I got something to monitor it, and then like all of the devices are all like saying the same thing. I'm like, wow,
Huh,
okay, that's crazy. I
interesting.
could have been growing better, I guess.
And you don't have any type of CO2 anything in there? Like you're not adding CO2? Wow,
Nope.
That's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
just
that's pretty cool. I wonder.
we're
Huh,
me and my wife, we're home all day every day. We've got a couple of dogs, but yeah, I guess we just breathe a lot of hot air in here or something. And it does fluctuate, but
it's
man,
working
we got a
for
lot
you.
of
I mean,
CO2.
keep doing it. It's free.
I know. I never need a supplement. I went in there the other day and I was so in the new, I'm doing again, I made those new crosses and I'm testing them right now. And I went in yesterday was the day of sexing. So out of 26 right now, I've got eight were males, 11 were females, and then I think 7 undecided still. But after in there, like sexing them, taking the males down, cutting them up, I looked and it's like 1,300 ppm of CO2. I'm like, good
Crazy.
Lord. Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, that's your target when you're supplementing, like at the height of everything.
Right. Yeah, no, that's good. Like mine might actually be higher too, because where I'm sitting right now, my tents are like 5 feet in front of me. You know what I mean? And I spend 90% of my time in this room, whether I'm in the tents or I'm
Yeah.
sitting at this desk. So I
I
mean,
bet I bet it's higher than you suspect, and
yeah,
based off of that, you could probably change a few things about how you grow. Like I always wondered sometimes, like I would come back to the tent, um, and everything is watered fine, but for a little while it's just like they're weeping. You're like, oh, maybe it
right.
reached its DOI, it got enough sun that it needed for the day, so it's just kind of like taking time off. um and then now once I was able to monitor these things, I'm like, well, a high level of CO2 kind of keeps the stomata closed on the underside of the plant, so it's not
So they
taking up
droop a
as
little
fast. And
more.
that's why you, what's that?
So they droop a little bit more when the CO2 is up and you're not actually turning your lights up to what they need. They'll droop.
That's what yeah, that's kind of what I was like wondering or hypothesizing there. It's like, okay, so like I mean transpiration really drives that, gets them like really up and nice. And there's other factors too, but I'm like if it's not transpiring as much because it's not reaching the temperature to actually open those because of the elevated CO2, then that would actually make sense. It was doing something like that. So
Yeah.
again, we're making these connections off of new data that we have. So
I was gonna
that's
say you
why I
pretty much
asked.
just described my grow right now. I just noticed like yesterday or the day before, my plants were really perky, and now all of a sudden they're just like, like they're
Yeah.
lazy. You know what I mean? I'm like,
And
what is
there's,
going
because
on?
I try to figure out what it was. It wasn't watering, underwatering and overwatering. They both look similar. They both look limp, but the pot is fine. And I do have way to measure the soil water tension. So I'm like, I know it's at the right spot. The light, if it gets too much in a day, like I said, yeah, it's like, okay, I'm done for the day, but it
Yeah.
just didn't make sense. And I couldn't figure it out. And I'm like, well, okay, this may be part of the answer. So yeah,
Hmm,
who knows?
interesting. Maybe I need to dial my lights up a little bit.
Yeah, because then it opens up. And another thing that I noticed too, and sometimes growers will see, particularly around like flower or when you're going through transition, your leaves, your new growth will come out. Maybe it's a little bit lighter of a green or maybe a little bit yellow, but then as it expands and it grows, it fills out and it gets the right green
Yeah.
color. But that's just kind of a like phosphorus thing. And when again the plant's not transpiring as much, it's not taking it up as much. And I'm like, well, I wonder if again that extra CO2 is causing that sort of deficiency in that droop that I'm
I
seeing.
think Chad's been looking in my tent recently.
Dude, we all go through the same things, brother.
I
So
feel
it's a
I swear,
mystery.
like that's exactly 100% what's like everything looks good. Everything looks healthy. Everything looks okay, but it's just a little bit lazy. It's a little droopy. And like you just said, the new growth coming out at the top is
Mhm.
like a lime green compared to
Yep,
the proper green, you know?
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So I could say you
Like I need to
too.
make some adjustments. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird
Oh,
because for all the the hype we're told about, it used to be like, oh, you need more light, you need more light, you need more light. Well, now all of our LEDs are like way more powerful than we need, which is
you're
awesome.
right.
You can use the dimmer, you can control it, but now it's like you need CO2, you need CO2. Well, shoot,
Yeah.
I actually just looked and because I bought like the a couple different gear from AC Infinity to like
Yep.
control and get into it. Cause I'm like, might as well. I poo poo it. I'll play with it. Come to find out, I'm like, dude, you don't need it. So I can just play with it as it is. Yeah. I don't
Hmm.
know where I was going with that
Interesting.
one. Sorry. I
No,
squirreled.
but I'm glad you went down that road because I think you just maybe I might have just learned something. So that's good. That's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Process of elimination, man. That's you get if you can eliminate everything until you're like, well, just doesn't make sense to me. That's a good
Yeah.
place, and then you start asking and you start watching shows and these casual conversations, man. I've learned things from growers who have been growing for like 30 years, growers who've been growing for like 30 days.
3 days. Yeah.
Just say something. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Who taught you this? That's brilliant, man. I've
Yeah.
never.
Sometimes I
I will
think it's
give
just
you.
that new set of eyes, you know what I mean? Like you've been doing it for so long. We've been doing it a long time. You got your blinders up sometimes. And you get somebody brand new and they kind of just like reopen your mind for a second. You're like, oh shit, never thought of that. Take you outside that box.
The most recent mind blower, and I'm just excited to share it because I just remembered it right now. Again, from Brandon from Kiss Organics, but he was talking about because you always work in the garden and you get dirt under your nails and stuff and all that. He's like, before you go into the garden next time and you're in there, just grab your bar of soap and just rake your nails across it, and it gets like a little dam in there, and then you go work in the garden, and
Yeah.
then when you're done, you just wash your hands and no dirt under the nails. I was like,
That's a
What? He's like,
great.
yeah,
That's a
Why
great.
I've been doing that since a kid. I was like, are you
Everybody's
I'm this old and I'm just hearing this thing?
yeah, that's a
I
good
was
idea.
today years old when I found that out.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's a really good idea, actually. It's just soap. It washes off.
So
Yeah. Just
simple
Huh.
weird little
too.
thing.
Like
I don't mind. I don't mind getting. I'm a construction worker. My hands are dirty even when they're clean. So I'm in the
Totally.
I'm in the tent. I got dirt under my nail. I got dirt on my face sometimes. You know what I mean? Microbes are good
Working
for you.
hard. Yes. Eat dirt.
Yes. So, um, speaking of Kiss Organics, I think that might be a good segue into you're working on a little something something with
Mhm.
Kiss
Yeah.
Organics, I believe, are you not?
Thank you, man. Yeah, we've been working on a soil for a while, a couple years now, and it just last, I think, April this year we released the soil. We were sold out for a little while, but Tad the other day said it's back in.
Nice.
Again, I want to make growing as easy as possible for the new grower, somebody who may be medically limited as far as the amount of time and effort they could put in, maybe somebody with limited mobility. So, again, like a water only soil. I've
Yeah.
tried numerous ones on the channel, and that's what I've developed with Tad over this time is something that if you go into like a 7 gallon container, you give it to typical like 30, 45-day veg. It's got about a 60-day flowering period. You'll be able to do water only for that session. And that gives
Damn.
a new person like watering is tougher than you think, but it gives them less things they have to think about and less things they have
Right.
to focus on. So yeah, that's what I've got with the Kiss Organics. It's just called Westport's Blend, but
Nice.
soil, yeah, you can pick it up
I
and give it a
love it.
shot.
Cool.
Thank
And
you.
where can you get that from? Kiss Organics website, I assume, would be one place for sure.
Yep, the Kiss Organics website. If you live in Washington or Northern Oregon, you can pick it up directly from the factory. That's the best way. Soil is heavy, so
Yeah.
it has to be shipped. But we're working hard, and he's working hard on n- new distribution and further distribution, potentially something over on the East Coast. Because again, we are absolutely on the West Coast. So,
Right.
person in Virginia,
Mhm.
dude, so much more expensive for shipping than it is for somebody down in Portland, Oregon. So we're
Right.
trying to correct
But
that
I gotta
and get
ask
it
the
in the
question,
shops.
being
Yeah.
Canadian, is it available in Canada? And if not, will it be available in Canada?
It's not currently available. That is a good question. That is actually something we've not talked about. I believe Kiss is under the Black Swallow name in Canada.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah. I
100%.
I I use black soil, so yeah, yeah. And you know
Okay.
Yep.
what? You're absolutely right. Now that you say that they have the swallow kiss blend. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Perfect.
They're
So he
actually
okay.
like an hour from me.
Oh wow. That's awesome.
Now that I think about that, I was using black swallow. They're fairly local to me.
Nice. Yeah, if you
I
did, I mean,
really
if
like
you
black swallow, so
hell yeah, Midnight Toker. Thank you, man, for supporting. Like dude, I really wish it was easier to get into people's hands. I did that the last no joke grow diary, just freaking water. It made me look like I'm just like, you're a great grower. I'm like, I just know how to water. That's all I did there. Um, so yeah, get the right genetics and get good soil. And that was kind of our point too. Like that's how Tad originally wanted to frame this is, like a soil to go with genetics. And I'm like, well, I really like that idea. There's another person out there, Duke Diamond, who's been doing this for far longer than I have. He's Dominion Seed Company is his breeding,
okay.
but he has a blend with Build a Soil. And Duke is like, I've looked up to him for the way he labels all of his genetics and then learning more about him, the way he tells people how to grow them, and then comes out with the soil. Because his basic philosophy is like, look, I've I've made these genetics. I've gone through every scenario with you of how to grow it. I'm growing it in this soil. So if you can basically follow what I'm doing, you're going to
Yeah.
get similar results. And I'm like,
Interrupting.
dude, that's for any breeder. That would be like a dream. That is the goal. I want you to succeed. So the more I can do to make that happen, I'm all for it. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's cool. I
working with a smart soil person is awesome because he's the scientist.
yeah, but you're the I was gonna say the brains behind it, but I mean, like, I think you've got a lot of experience when it comes to growing. I mean, you guys both bring something different to the table. He's
Yes.
got the place to do it. You've got a ton of knowledge when it comes to different organic
Yes.
and synthetic. Like, I'm pretty sure you
Yeah.
can grow in
Yep.
every way that you can probably grow, So, no, that's
Close
cool.
to it.
It's funny. I never put two and two together with the Black Swallow and the Kiss Organics, but they have a Kiss blend. It's
Yeah.
called Kiss. Huh.
I was this years old when I learned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of those tonight. There's a lot of those. That's why I love having you on the show because that always happens. I always learn something when you come on. So,
Yes, and
well,
that also goes to always support your local grocery store because then you won't have one. Like we don't have any here, so it
Yep.
doesn't matter. Everything has to be ordered, and like they said, shipping costs could be quite interesting.
yeah,
Thanks
Sometimes
for
it's more than
mentioning
the
that.
product itself.
Yeah.
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 My
Yeah,
local grocery
really.
store carries that Black Swallow, and I used to use Gaia Green like religiously, and she was like,
Mhm.
"Stop." What do you mean stop? She's like, "Use this. It's local. It's as good or better than Gaia Green." I went, it's pretty close. It's pretty comparable in price. Like it's a very reasonable price point. So I was like, you know
Mhm.
what? It's not really going to cost me any more to do it this way. So why not? Let's fuck it. Let's try it. And I tried it and I had at least the same results, if not better, So I was like, okay,
Good.
well, Black Swallow it is. Because I mean, Gaia Green's
Yeah.
Canadian, but they're not local to me. Where Black
Mhm.
Swallow's like, it's an hour drive for me. So
And I mean, that's just going the extra step further too. If people are, everybody goes to different levels, but a lot of people like to grow organic because they like to close loops. They like to make, less waste products or take advantage of that. And then, you keep going down the chain and you're like, well, how far did this have to travel to me? And you're like, well, they're both very good products. I had success with both, but one, like the carbon footprint is so much higher than the other. Like, I'll
Yeah.
take this one.
yeah,
So yeah.
that kind of leads me to another question. When it comes to organic growing,
Mhm.
do you consider just top dressing and making your own, get pro mix and then get some dry amendments and add that in there and still using your regular tap water? Do you still consider that to be like 100% organic or is that kind of like a,
It depends on the inputs, but my answer would be yes. I hope so because that's really what I do. Like I use the soil that's already, it's amended, but when I go in smaller pots or I go for longer times, I'm top dressing with the nutrient pack or the bloom booster and I'm just scratching it into the soil and then
yeah,
watering it. So yeah, it's all ingredients, nutrients, either word there. It's all like organic and not immediately plant available. So you still have to anticipate, you still have to be familiar with your plants. And that's the biggest advantage, disadvantage of, using synthetic stuff is boom, right to your roots. Um,
instant, yeah,
but yeah, I consider that organic. You still want to watch levels of, like heavy metals is one. This is more for commercial facilities or people that need to pass testing or, very sensitive medicinal patients. But kelp is one of those products that, dude, it's organic, right? Arsenic's organic, but there's high levels of, metals and arsenics in these things. So
mercury, right? In kelp,
yeah,
is it high levels of mercury? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I forget specifically, which company? I think it's
Alaska Fish
Espoma?
Fertilizer was
Espoma
one
or
of them.
something? I'm gonna Google this here real quick because Brandon Rust about 2 or 3 years ago, um, let me just type this in. Espoma. Yeah. Okay. So Brandon Rust, does a lot of soil testing. He does a lot of sap analysis on the plants. He advises for commercial facilities. And kelp was one of the things that, well, not kelp, but heavy metals was one of the things people were testing hot for. And he took like 20 of the most like commonly used kelp products, had them all tested. Every single one except one failed or had like high levels. And he's
Wow.
like, I really shouldn't be telling you guys this because me and my partner spent thousands of dollars to get these tests done, but buy this one. And it was the Espoma, the ESPOMA. So if you like using that sort of product, I would say take a look at theirs because it tested lower than everybody
Right.
else's. It's dude, it's a good product. I mean,
I
just
bet that
kelp.
company is loving him right now. Because I mean, Brandon Rust is a very known, very trusted person in the community. Like when he talks, people listen. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah,
So I bet
he's
that
he's
company is loving him right now because he basically just told everybody, don't buy anything other than this one because this is why. And here's the test to prove it. You know what I mean? So that's
absolutely. It's dude, it's worth knowing those little things. Again, that's the
sure.
community just kind of sharing and spreading the word.
Yeah. That's what I love about
Yes.
the community. Like, I know you have a community, we have a community, but at the end of the day, I come over to your show and our community is over there watching and same thing, you know. Everybody's back
Absolutely.
and forth. We're all watching each other and I learn from you, I learn from tons of people out there. So having
Yes.
these conversations like you were saying earlier is absolutely amazing. Just being able to sit here and have these conversations and kind of talk shop, you know. So
I
yeah,
enjoy
it's
it.
loyal to
Yeah,
the
I
soil.
absolutely enjoy it. Loyal to the soil. Nice.
Hell yeah. But yeah. Um, what else did I have? Yeah, you're doing the organic gardening too with Tad Hussey as well, which is pretty
Yes.
cool. So I can't remember how often you do it. I was looking on your page and it doesn't look like it's like a weekly thing. It looks like more of like a monthly thing or something, which is
Yeah,
pretty
he
cool.
He does it every Tuesday on his channel, on the Kiss Organics channel. But every the second Tuesday of every month, we do it on both. So Chad Westport
Okay.
YouTube channel, and then the Kiss Organics. Yeah, again, it's fun because I'm that student who's sitting in the front who can raise his hand and get the answer, get
Yeah.
called on every time. So
Yeah.
that's fun. And
Just
that show is really driven by people in chat. So we get a lot of great questions there. And 90% of the time I'm like, so what's your opinion on that, Tad?
right.
He's the expert.
Well, that's kind of like what it is here. We're kind of like, hey, what's your opinion on that, Chad?
Yep.
There we go. There we
Right?
go.
So it
Touche.
works both ways.
Touche.
I feel like every time we have somebody like you come on the show, I feel like a student up here. You know,
Thanks.
we get that same thing. We
Oh,
get to ask you the
definitely.
questions and we right away, you know, you pick us, you answer. So it's cool being able to do that. So
Yes.
I appreciate that, man. And it takes asking the right question. It's that natural curiosity, and that's what's got me, to where I am and what I'm doing. So
yeah.
by the time the beard and everything turns nice and gray for you, you'll probably be right in the same
And
position, man. All it
I'm
takes
on
is
my
natural
way.
curiosity and time.
Yes. Yes. I'm on my way. It's going gray. It's getting grayer
Gray,
and grayer by the day. My
gray
hair
is the
still
new
won't grow
black.
though.
Okay, we're gonna start that right here now. Gray is the new black. So
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love hanging out with my girl. Y'all my friends now. Nice.
Yes.
nice.
Ogo?
Hopefully,
Hell
chat
yeah.
is awesome. Going
Ogo was
once.
live for over 14 hours yesterday. I was like, Jesus.
Holy cow!
We,
How many bathroom breaks? Is there a bathroom break counter?
I don't know. I wasn't there for the whole 14 hours. I stopped in there.
Like
We recorded an episode yesterday with Yellow Skunk Farms,
cool.
and yeah,
Yes.
super
I'm
super cool.
excited for that.
Talking about organic growing, holy shit, Ask Bunny, I nerded right out yesterday talking to him. But I was watching Ogo before that, and then we went and spent 3 hours doing all the recording for that episode. And then I went back and he was still live. And then it was like 8:30 or 9 o'clock this morning. I'm at work and I just opened up YouTube and he's live again. It's like, Jesus, this man is a
Yeah.
trooper. He
I've
is a
done that. That's
trooper.
the weirdest thing where you're hanging out in chat and you're just like, oh, you keep hanging out, and you're like, okay, I really got to go. You go about your day, you do your thing, you come back and it's still going. You're like, I'm glad I didn't sit there the whole time.
I
My
can't
day
do
is
it.
shot. Yeah, my day is done. Chatted up.
Damn. But yeah, speaking of long episodes or long shows, you've always been a part of the Last Prisoner Project. You've always been there each and every year, which has always been cool. We've been involved for the last 3 years, and it's always cool being able to see you there and see that you're part of that whole thing because I think it's a super super cool thing that they're doing over there. So it's nice to be part of that and be part of it with people like you and some of the other creators that are involved in that. So
It's cool to see, yeah, it's cool to see all of the people, all of us like friends come together for one thing in one place. Like we all have our individual things and like you said, we all hang out together. Like I'm in your chat, you're in my chat. We all hang
yeah,
out one way or the other, but yeah, those Last Prisoner Project telethons really it's cool because it brings us all into one place. So like for one
Everybody,
day
yes.
we're all just like over here, guys.
yeah. Everybody's in the back room shooting the shit. It's pretty neat.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's a
It's the
fun
closest
experience.
we have to our weed party, It's the virtual weed party.
It
Yes.
is. It really is. And then at
Yeah.
the end of the show, they always have the band play, and
Yep. Yep.
everybody's just, everybody's partying. It's a good time, man. I
Yeah.
haven't heard anything too much about it this year. I don't know. I don't know if Rick is.
It's a good
I don't know if we're involved in it this year or not. I haven't heard anything about it.
I've not gotten a memo myself, so
Okay,
maybe
well
both
that's
of our
good then.
invitations are lost in the mail.
Okay,
No,
okay,
usually about this time, Emily, anything grows, and
yeah,
Spartan
Yes.
Grown. I know do a lot of the like background logistics, like the hard stuff, the stuff that people don't see, the
yeah,
unglamorous stuff that
Yes.
nobody realizes
Yeah.
you did, but really it's
yeah,
everything to the whole thing. So hopefully they're plotting silently and working in the background to get that going because yeah they've
yeah. I
raised
hope so.
that show or the thing thousands of dollars each year for Last Prisoner Project,
Yes.
which is good.
And
Yeah,
I love that.
and like I said, it is a lot of fun. Like it's just cool being able to be involved in that and be asked to be part of that. You know what I mean? Like it's we were. I think the very first year that we were involved, we brought Jorge Cervantes and Pat King. Will
Yeah.
King was our guests, and we all just kind of just shut up. And it was two old friends that were like reunited, and they just had a conversation for an hour, and that was our whole show. That was our whole
Yep,
segment.
perfect,
There, Jorge
perfect.
and Soil King having a conversation. I was like, cool. Sit back and just let these guys chat. It was cool. It
That
was a lot of
is.
fun.
So you've traveled a lot and you've met so many amazing people. Who would you say has been one of your, I don't want to put you on the spot, but like your top most memorable or amazing person to you that you have met?
I keep going back to Mila Jansen, the hash queen. Mila
I love
Jansen
her.
from the Netherlands. We meet her in Amsterdam, the Pollinator Factory. Her company is there, and she drops what she's doing and hangs out for like 2 3 hours. We go next door to her little museum. We sit on the couches, roll joints or spliffs on the table, and just talk about all the things that have gone on and all the stuff that's hanging up and around the room. And
That's
I
awesome.
go back to her for like many reasons. She's very inspirational just as a person in general. Like the hash cannabis part of things is extraordinary too, but just as a person in general, She's very
She's definitely
inspiring.
got an aura about her. We were lucky enough to meet her in person as well, and
She's
just being around her was
probably,
amazing.
oh yeah, she's probably one of the nicest, sweetest people I've ever met in my life.
Hmm.
Like,
Gratitude, yeah. She's full of
yeah,
gratitude, just appreciation for the day, for the moment. And she always likes to do a little dance every day, which is funny because she's like, just do the little dance with me. Just do a little, you'll feel good. So, yeah,
Love it.
she's,
that's pretty cool that
when
you
you're
get to.
younger, you're like, I hope I could be like those cool kids when I'm older. Like, I hope I could be like that cool kid when I'm older too.
Yeah, and like her story is unbelievable. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think when she came on the show, her daughter came on with her.
Hmm.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she was telling, I think it was her daughter was telling a story, and she's like, I got caught smoking weed my first time when I was 4.
Oh.
Hash, actually, and it was in India
Mhm.
because her kids were there with her, when she was young doing her thing. Her kids
Mhm.
were like out in the jungle with her wherever she was, right? And
Yeah.
Yep.
Mila said I could just see the smoke coming out of the tent. I made my way over there and I looked and it was my daughter and she was smoking hash.
That would be a good story. I'd love to hear that one.
That was so cool.
I'd
It
love
was
to see
funny.
them both sitting next to each other too, telling this story.
Yes.
Yeah,
Slightly different versions of it.
Yeah.
it was funny. Yeah, it was really cool. She's a very nice person and we got to see we were standing there talking to Jorge and
Wow.
Mila walked by and he literally was just like, Mila, like he hadn't
Totally.
seen her. He's like, I see her all the time, but we never ever get a chance to speak. So
Yep.
he was like,
Yes.
sorry. I was like, that was just my opportunity to say hi. And I was like, no, no, you do your thing, man. And then they were up on stage. It was the whole panel that was up on stage. And there was Ed Rosenthal, Jorge Cervantes, and Mila was
Wow.
three of
Wow.
I think there was 5 or 6 people on the panel, and they were 3 of
Yeah.
them, and Jorge and Mila did not pay attention to a damn thing that was being talked about on
They
that
were
panel.
so
They were just,
cute.
like, sitting beside each other, like, giggling like little school kids, like, in the back of the classroom. Hilarious. We got pictures and videos of them just, like, chopping it up on stage. It was really cool.
It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it
That's
was neat.
awesome. Again, she's another good example of like, don't take this stuff too seriously. It's
Yeah,
serious business, but don't take it too seriously.
enjoy it.
Yes.
Stop and smell the roses once in a while and enjoy your time while you're here.
Amen.
That's kind of the vibe I get from her.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, for
So she
sure.
she would be probably the top of my list right now. There's a lot of people clawing up there for it, but yeah, just the joy, the raw joy she brings is just
Yeah,
tremendous. And you've experienced
Yeah.
it, so yeah.
Yes, I
briefly,
totally
like,
agree.
compared to yours, it was a little different, like, it wasn't a one-on-one hangout, you know what I mean? We got to meet
Yeah.
her at the Grow Up conference, there's thousands of people standing in line to talk to her, but we just happened to be with the Green Planet team, and he's like, "Oh, you haven't talked to her yet? Come here," just took us right to the front of the line, he's like, "Mila, I got some people that would love to talk to you," and she was like, "Okay,"
That's
like,
freaking
"Forget the rest of
rad.
the people." I was like, "Fuck yes.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you."
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was cool.
Mhm.
It was really cool, and, like, she's reading this magazine, it was about lights or something like that, and she, like, grabbed my shirt and, like, pulled me down to talk to her because 'cause I'm, like, this much
He's
taller than her,
tall.
right? She
He's
just, like,
very
kinda, like,
tall.
reaches up and grabs my pulls me down, she's like, "Come here."
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. But we've hit the
We
hour,
have hit, yes.
which is crazy, flies by. Do you wanna
Did I
let
say
everybody
anything
know
smart? Did I do
I
anything
think
good?
I learned
The whole
something, that
time.
doesn't necessarily mean you said anything smart, that just means I learned something, but
Sweet.
doesn't take a lot to impress me, Chad, it really doesn't. I'm very
Hey,
simple.
good. Makes my job easy. No, I'm joking. Thank you guys. I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
But yeah, if you wanna let everybody know where they can find you and, what days and nights and times and stuff like that that you're live, because you're doing a lot when it comes to the shows as well, so
I'm trying to keep the contact fairly regular, or content fairly regular. Chad Westport YouTube channel. That's where you're gonna find all my stuff. I post occasionally on chad.westport, which is Instagram. I'm not terribly active there, but I do. I like to share pictures of people who grew my genetics, so that's a great
Right.
place to do it. And then the website, chadwestport.com. That's where you find gear and merch. But if you are in Canada or if you are anywhere but the US, daga.garden. So DAGGA.garden. You can pick up my genetics there for international availability. So
Nice.
those are that. Thank you, 702 Exotic. Dude, I
Hell
appreciate
yeah.
that.
I
And
pop
I
into his
do,
shows once in a while, actually. I
you guys
pop in
have
and
been
watch
on the
him once in a
shows.
while. What's
Yep.
that?
I said you guys have been
Oh,
on the show,
on
on the
chat.
On your
Saturday
Yes.
shows. Yep,
Yes,
yep.
Yes.
Saturday
absolutely.
show is
That was a lot
you.
of fun.
So yeah, I mean it's easy for us to have a conversation, and
It
it's
is.
always fun for me to be able to ask the questions, just because again I'm naturally curious, and anybody who is doing this and has a passion for it, I can learn something from. And
Yes.
I'm excited to talk with anybody and everybody about this plant and what they're doing. And that happened the other day with Tad. We started getting into water droplet size and the most effective thing. Well, are we talking about like foliar feeding, or are we talking about an oil application? And we were both like, we got to the point of we're both like, I don't know, but he's like, but I know the rep from this company and they'll know. So poof, just change it. That'll be the next one. So yeah, we,
Nice.
we keep the curiosity going, man. So thank you guys for
Oh, yeah,
being curious, just like me.
absolutely.
Yeah, and
Always
helping
Oh,
curious.
other
Like I
people.
want to know. I want to know everybody's story,
Yeah.
whether they got 6 followers on Instagram or 6 million. I don't care. I just want to know why everybody's doing this, what drove them to do it. All of it. I want to. Everybody's got a story. I said that to somebody the one time. I said, everybody's got a story. You just need a good host to take it out of you. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
You just need somebody willing to ask the questions. So,
I always
for
like the
sure.
quiet ones too, man. They're usually the deepest thinkers.
The most interesting. If you can ever get Bunny to talk for like an hour-long conversation, if you can get like a one-on-one with Bunny, she's pretty fucking interesting.
I believe it. I believe it.
She is. So, but yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on, and we won't hold you up any longer. We've kept you for over an hour now, so but yeah,
Yeah.
we appreciate you coming on, and keep being you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Everybody loves you. So,
Well, dude, thank you for that support. And again, we're just three people doing the same thing. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you both for educating people and spreading awareness. So I will see you guys later. I'll hop over and
absolutely.
chat. Big up chat. Big up Bingus. And yeah, guys, if you aren't aware of this book yet, check it out because it might refill your cup. It's refilling
And
mine.
Yes.
So
we
good to
also
see
had
you.
an episode with Bingus, so if you want, you could
Perfect.
also go back and rewatch it on our YouTube, and the links are posted there for his book and where you could find him.
Yes, yes.
All right,
And
guys,
not
I
only
will
that,
hop
he
off.
pops on some Friday nights to show his garden. So I mean, he comes and hangs out once in a while. He's a good friend of the show.
What a
Angus is a
mensch.
good
What a
dude.
mensch. Good guy. All right,
So,
guys, take care.
all
Much
right,
love.
man.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great night.
All right, later,
Anytime.
dude.
That was
Cool,
so
cool.
much fun.
That was a lot of fun. Chad's a good dude, man.
We've
Super
sat down
knowledgeable.
so many times with him. It's so easy to talk to him. Like, I
Yeah.
love when he comes on.
You know what the cool thing
Yeah,
about Chad too is sometimes, if you can believe it, we get a little sidetracked, and sometimes the show's half of it is not even about growing. Sometimes we're talking about music. Sometimes we're talking about skateboarding. Sometimes we're
skateboards.
talking about movies. Like
Yeah.
he came on when we were doing our old show, and he came on and we had a whole like hour-long conversation on our Friday night grow show about movies. And we had a whole bunch of us
Yes.
in there just shooting the shit in the chat. It's cool. He's a good dude.
Yes.
But yes, who do we have next week?
So next week, before next week though, we have Friday. Friday is Come Show Your Grow. So if you are new to the channel, we do go on Fridays at 9 p.m. where 9 p.m. Eastern, where you could come on and show your gardens. You don't have to show your face. If you happen to have your lights off or an outdoor grow that well, if you still have an outdoor grow, you
Yeah.
could grab a short video, and send it to one of us, and we will play it during the show on Friday. And Wednesday, we have Yellow Skunk Farm. So, like Anix was saying earlier, you want to talk about organic? This guy goes very, very deep,
Man,
and
it
it's
is so
amazing.
so good. When we were done last night, my brain was like on overload. I was up half the night thinking about all the shit that we talked about because I
Yes.
was just like, my God, like my mind was literally blown last night. So
And if
I'm
you
really
don't
excited for that episode to come out.
If you don't know who Yellow Skunk Farm is, I definitely recommend checking him out before Wednesday so you have a little bit of an idea of what his actual setup looks like.
Yes, he does a regenerative ecosystem indoors. So he's got like a pond with turtles and fish and plants that all grow in and around this thing. It's absolutely amazing. So it's
All in a garage.
yeah. So stay tuned. If you're organic or you're looking at being organic, definitely stop by for that and check that out because it's
Yes. And until then, we will see you on Friday.
yes, yes. Peace.